Hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome back to Planet Coaster, where we're going to take a look at the brand new DLC, the Classics Ride Collection. After the huge success of the Magnificence Ride DLC and confirming our previous thoughts that maybe scenery DLCs take a bit of a backseat, now we have the Theme Maker's Toolkit. We do have another complete rides DLC here in the Classic Rides Collection. There are 2 coasters, 3 track rides and 4/5 flat rides. You'll see why in a moment. First of all, one of the first coasters. This in-game is called the Interdimensional, and as you can see, it is a spinning coaster, loosely based probably around Time Traveller, hence the name kind of fits, I suppose. And yeah, it's a spinning coaster that we already have a couple of in the game, but the main difference here is that the trains themselves, the cars themselves even, are on a train. They all spin independently. You can turn the spinning on and off using the track, and you can launch it as well. So although it doesn't have the funky lift that something like Cobra's Curse is, you can do something like Cobra's Curse and obviously Time Traveller. This is really good coaster and lots of different options for launching it, for lift hills, and again, like I say, you can turn the spinning off at different points, and yeah, it's a nice addition. I'd look forward to seeing some good Time Traveller recreations with this one. This next one is a big one. It's called the Infinite, and as you've probably guessed, it's a Gerstlauer Infinity, probably made most famous by the Smiler, although there are a few of these around the world. This is a big one. Been really looking forward to this one. Mostly for what other people do with it. This is one of the most diverse coasters. You can do so much with it. It comes with a couple. Let's have a bit of a better look at it. This is one I've made myself. This is really jank. I just wanted to try and show you the drop there. It becomes a couple of different styles of drop, and obviously just regular drops as well. You can do regular chain lifts and all that sort of stuff, and all different launches as well. And you can have the 2 different track styles. So we've got the 3-pin triangles track here, but then also you can do the single track as well. The game's speeding through there, or is that no? It's just how quick that awful coaster I made is. I just wanted to kind of show you what some of the features look like. But yeah, I love the lift hill. I think that's really good. And we've got some sort of security measures on the side here for people to go up to it as they need to. And yeah, also look at that on the middle there, such detail. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been using like the Bergrest with one of the different seats in to try and get something that looks a bit like a Gerstlauer Infinity, but yeah, it's great. Jesus Christ, that'll kill you. Look at that. But yeah, really great to see this in the game. Really nicely put together as well. Next up, track rides. And the first one is just a genuine, just standard track ride. Like we've already got in the game, the Cats, the vintage cars, the one that came with the spooky pack, I think was, no, yeah, slightly different. This is basically just that. The nice thing about this one though is you can change the speed of it to be quite high. I'm going to come out of the camera there for a moment to show you. You can go to customize here, and you can set the car speed to be pretty high actually. So you'll see this one go around now, and you get a pretty good speed on it. 30 miles an hour it goes up to. Now unfortunately you can't change that via pieces of track. I was really hoping for this to have adjustable track pieces when they said that you could change the car speed to higher than anything else, because I was guessing from the look of it that it was going to be a sort of test track style ride like they have at Epcot, but unfortunately the car speed is set to the whole track, even though you can go quite high with it. I think really this is just a nice skin alternative for people who want to do something maybe styled around sort of 50s or diners or maybe movies, that kind of thing, but nothing really to write home about here. This, on the other hand, is going to get a lot of people excited. The chairlift that came with Magnificence Rides, we now have gondolas from the Classic Ride selection. Pretty much, you know, same meat and 2 veg underneath, but they've changed the skin here, and each of these gondolas can carry 4 people, which is quite interesting because groups can be up to 6. So I'm guessing these will go as 4 and 2s, I guess, in real life, or maybe 2 2s and 2s still. I'm not too sure in real life. I mean, when the game's playing, sorry. But they look really great. Obviously, you can colour them. I know a lot of people said when we got chairlifts that they really wanted to see gondolas. For instance, Alton Towers, one of the main parks in the UK, has gondolas that were quite similar to this, although they're a little larger. But I think these are really well done and a nice addition to the game. Next up, another one that people have been asking for a long time, and that is just a good old-fashioned boat ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, eat your heart out. Basically, this is something that people have been asking for pretty much since launch, to be honest. You want to do a true sort of dark ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World, all those kind of things. There's loads of them all over the place, and we've been having to sort of make do with originally the log flume, and then later on the more sort of jungle cruise style boat that was added in, and all there's the other one as well, isn't there? The actual sort of water coaster one, like the Journey to Atlantis kind of thing, but now we just have a straight up water ride now that has some really nice features actually. So it has like wide areas here that you can do, so you can do a little bit of theming into the water. It has drops and obviously lifts as well, and sort of areas where the track takes the boat into the thing like that. Really nicely done together. This actually comes with a blueprint as well. I've just sort of plonked it down so you can see. I mean, it's obviously sort of typical Planco scale, crazy little blueprint, but just shows you that obviously they're very aware that this is a Pirates of the Caribbean necessity, this one. And they've actually done quite a good job of this, actually. I don't know who's made this, but I really like this bit as well. This is a shanty village. They did a good job. They did a good job of theming this one, actually. It's pretty good. But there you go. You can sort of see it all in place. Let's nip through the stones here. And you can see these sort of open areas that they've got here, so that you can have theming coming actually into the ride without it getting too close to the boats there. So yeah, this is really, really great. I kind of wish I had this when I was doing my my pirate boat ride all those years ago. But this may be something we could put into Azuri Gardens even. Who knows? But yeah, really nice addition. Good track rides here in this new update. And finally, your flat rides, which for me is a pretty mixed bag. I always say that I'm not a coaster nerd. I struggle to tell you the name of coasters. I'm even less of a flat rides nerd. So as far as I'm concerned, this is spinny umbrellas. I have absolutely no idea what it's based on or what it does or anything like that. But I really like this one. Really sort of plain theming, so you can do what you want with it. Again, sort of very classic ride. This is the kind of stuff I was really hoping for when I heard the pack was called Classic Rides. Some of these sort of real vintage rides that a lot of parks have sort of tucked away in the corner. They've been there forever. Again, all of this is modular, so you can have it raise, you can have it spin, you can have it spin fast and slow. Yeah, I think that's a really great addition, that one. These two, not so much. I know a lot of people have asked for these. I have no idea what they're called, but I think they look ridiculous. But one thing I will say is the Planco versions of them do look pretty good and actually quite close to the originals. They're also really good scale compared to some of the sort of tall rides we used to have in the game. The original rides we had in the game that came sort of like 3 times the height of these. These ones are actually pretty well scaled compared to, if you look at the size of the people and the size of the other flats. There are 2 variations of them. One of them has some of these single seats and some of these sticking out seats, and then the other one has exclusively single seats. So yeah, they're calling it 2 rides, but really, let's be honest, that's one with a variation. But even still, they look good. I just think the actual rides in real life are just ridiculous, and that's why I don't really like them that much. I don't really have words for this one. I have a feeling, much like we had a little bit in the World's Fair pack, that this is an older ride that never quite made it, and they decided to stick it in here. I'm sure there is something like this in real life that exists, and I'm sure that it looks gorgeous and it does really well, but I just think this is absolutely crazy. It's kind of a viewing platform. So if are we actually testing this? Let's have a look. We are. No, we're not testing it. There we go. Let's test this so you can see kind of what it looks like. So people fill up. They're not strapped in or anything. It is genuine, like a come and stand around and walk around. And I kind of like the placement of the guests. I like how they're sort of stood around and having a look and stuff like that. But this thing is just so highly themed. I really kind of thought we'd moved away a little bit from this sort of stuff with Planco. And it's a shame because the movement of it and the layout of it, and having these 2 sort of separate foot pieces here is actually really quite nice, and it is really quite something very different to what we've already got. But they had to make it look like a huge pagoda, and that obviously limits where you're going to be able to use it. So yeah, I'm a little bit at odds with this one. I think it's a really nice, it's a pretty good scale. It's a really interesting looking ride, but all this high level of detail on here, so that makes it a little bit less usable as far as I'm concerned. But let's finish on a high, and let's finish with the whip. How good is this thing? Look at this, one one of the absolute classic vintage rides. The whip literally does what it says on the tin, spins you around and whips you around at the corners. One of the really early flat rides, this sort of like 19, maybe even 18th century, no, not 18th century, in 19th century these will have been around. But again, there's only a couple of these in operation that I'm aware of. But if you're making a sort of older park, or a vintage park, or even just like a realistic park, there's a good chance they might have one of these tucked away somewhere in the corner. I'm really going to try my hardest to find some space for one of these in the Pinewood Hills, because I think it would fit really, really well. I'm a big fan of this. So what are my thoughts? Personally, I'd like to have seen a scenery pack. I know we have the Theme Makers Toolkit, and I know that they've done a lot of upgrades to the Theme Makers Toolkit so it works better, and people are creating some amazing stuff. You've only got to look at Azuri Gardens and all the amazing animals that are being produced for it. But personally, nothing beats a set of 200 or 300 items that are all based around a theme and have all been designed in the Planko style by the people who made the game. And yeah, I would have liked to have seen a scenery pack after the last rides pack, maybe sort of go ride scenery, something like that. I would have been happy with, because I know there are gaps in the rides list that people are hoping to fill, and I know that this pack certainly fills a couple of those. I know the boat ride, the gondolas, the Smiler, the Graceful Infinity, and a couple of those flats people have been asking for a long time. So overall, I think there's good value here. Again, the pack's priced at which they usually are, priced $7.99 in the UK or whatever it is. It's a couple of coffees. It's not crazy money, so I definitely pick it up for the few rides here that you're probably going to fancy. But yeah, overall, I would like to have seen a scenery pack, but I think this pack has been pretty well implemented, and I hope you enjoy it. In fact, if you want to win a copy of this pack, you can do so by checking out the link in the description. You can win a copy of it, which has been very kindly donated by the folks over at Frontier, so thank you to them very much for that, and of course thank you for letting me have this copy early so I can get these videos ready for you. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you can give us a like, it really does help out the channel, and if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Any thoughts, queries, suggestions, you can pop them down in the comments. If you fancy a chat, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Jonty Sparrow. If you'd like to join in with the Geekism community, you can do so over at our Geekism Discord server. You'll find the link for that in the description. Thank you to all of our Patrons. They make these videos possible through their generous support at patreon.com/geekism. And don't forget to check out our affiliate links. Get yourself some cheap games and other goodies while supporting the channel at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.